new retreat spot, my backyard. Wish you guys were here. Maybe not all of you, a select few. Beautiful day. Finally put on some makeup, shaved my legs, and thought I need to do an update video because it's been a couple weeks now and I have some progress and finishes to show. Joe and the boys left last Friday after the boys got out of school. The boys are now on spring break this week, and headed to California for a few days. I decided to stay home and I'm going to show you what I did with my free time. So we'll just get into it because I have a lot to show. I wish that the sun was just a couple more degrees in a certain direction so I don't have these lines on me, but that's what FlossTube is about. It's inviting you guys into our homes and talking to you as if you were sitting right here, and if you were, you too would be having these crazy lines on you. So first, let's do the Arelate Studio pattern giveaway. Spanish Elegance is going to go to Jennifer Weibel, and the lady in the landscape is going to Margaret. Hey, so congrats you guys. Contact me any way that you want. All my information is down below and I will get these out to you ASAP. Those of you that are signed up for my 1884 newsletter, I've been doing the newsletter now for 2 months, and I wanted to get everybody ready for April, that I've decided to do Arelate Studio April. So you can go on to 1884stitchery.com. I have 141 patterns of Nancy's, only available at 1884, nowhere else, and you can get them in either hard copy or PDF. And if it is the PDF format that you want, make sure you write in the checkout memo section that you would like them in PDF and give me your email address so I can get those emailed off to you, and then I will also be refunding shipping if you did not order anything that needs to be shipped physically to you. I have picked out what pattern of our Latte Studio I will be doing, and I will be showing that a little later. So with Joe and the boys gone, I basically stitched. I rotated between stitching, napping. I went out Saturday night with a girlfriend, and then after she left, went back to the couch. I found a great YouTube channel, serial killer documentaries, that I basically binge watch his whole YouTube channel of videos. Some serial killers I've heard of, some that I haven't, which is great to watch when you're home alone and your mind just starts wandering. And stitched and napped, and yeah, so I had a great time by myself. What did I work on during that time? Well, I finished, let's go here. Roses. This is from Stitches Through the Years. Lana is a fabulous designer, and this is a free pattern that is available through her Instagram. So I will link this is Roses. the Instagram information down below and how to get a copy of this if it is still available. If it is not, which I highly suspect that it's not, or that it is still available, I will write that, but I'm pretty sure you can still get this. And I will give you all the instructions on how to obtain it. When she released it, I messaged her and I said, oh my gosh, I want this for 1884, and she's like, everyone can have it, it's going to be a freebie. So I carry Lana stitches throughout the years, patterns on my website as PDF or hard copy. But I saw this and I just thought it was so, I don't know, sweet and delicate, and I can be sweet and delicate. I know that I like my skulls and serial killer documentaries, but I can like vary this stuff. So I know you guys are all surprised. I know, Arlene, I stitched the border. I stitched it. Now, holy moly, that was a lot. But I'm happy I stuck with it, busted it out. I love how it looks. And surprisingly, sadly, I went through my closet O-frames and I did not have anything that fit this. So I will be on, there we go, I will be on the search when I go thrifty next time to find something. Yeah, or maybe this would be really cute as like a cube finish. I've never done a cube finish. I don't know if it would be too, I assume that the cubes finishes, the cube styrofoam, you can find them in all different sizes. So I don't know, or maybe a flat finish, but I don't want to ruin it because I love it so much. So yeah, and I stitched this on Picture This Plus Memory, 36 count linen, 2/2. Put in my initials, and the pattern comes with an alphabet, so it's really easy to sub it. Oh, what I did change, so there's the two little spools underneath the initials. Where the thread is, I did satin stitches instead of X's, just to kind of add some textural element to it. I have not shown this on the video, but if you follow me on Instagram, Stitching in Sequins, you will see that I found this design and so many of you guys loved it. And I think one of the best comments that I got was someone said, and I forget who, that I stitch the most unique patterns. And I love that because I try to be different in all aspects of my life, and stitching, you can definitely show what you're into and your likes and dislikes with your stitching. And so I'm always trying to find unique patterns to either bring to 1884 or for me to stitch, because you don't see other people stitching them. So I found this. I will link this down below as well. Tams Creations. I found this on Creative Poppy. It is called Bad Hair Day, and as you can see, it's kind of an ode to Medusa. And you're thinking, McKenna, those aren't X's, some X's, but a lot of it is backstitch. And that is right. So it is backstitch, which I just used DMC black, and then all the, I call them sperm, and any of the color. I used a color and cotton thread, variegated. It was a limited edition, but it's just full of all these great colors. And I stitched this on 28 count even weave. And I just love how, see, I can't, it should show it. Just trying to show the color. There, we'll go there. 28 count even weave. And then I had these great, I love her face. Look at that, with her spider earring. And I just stitched up how I wanted the I didn't think where a color ended and began. I just stitched it, and I love how it turned out. So this frame is 8x8, available at Hobby Lobby, and I had bought 2 of them when I was at Hobby Lobby a couple weeks ago getting more purple thread for my roses piece. And I was looking at all my frames and realized 8x8 would work perfectly, but not in the other color that I had it. So I went back to Hobby Lobby and they actually had these 50% off. So I already had a white one, so I bought one in every other color that I didn't have. $4 for an 8x8 frame, yes. So I just love how she turned out. The boys think she's super cool. They mentioned, oh, it looks like what's her face with the snakes coming out as her hair. So yeah, she's super, super cool. And I will link below on Creative Poppy if you want to stitch that. So let me just show you the frames that I did get at Hobby Lobby. So again, they were $4 each, 8x8, and they were like on an end display. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but it's kind of like this gray, washed, woodish kind of color. I got a gold one, and then just darker brown, and I have a white one as well. And then I also picked up, I just liked the color, Antique Blue Zweigart 14 count Ada. Don't know what I'll use it for, but I thought that the color was really cool. All right, so next up, I'm going to show you 4 pieces that I have framed up since last time. Now this is a finish you guys did not see. I was working on it though. This is Peacock Duo, and this is a new release from me, 1884 Designs. And I finished it up, and I had the same frame is what I stitched up. What is it? Friendship Bloom, Friendship Garden. I had another one and I just painted it sort of like this milk chocolate, but it has like a purple undertone, and it worked perfectly. So yeah, here is Peacock Duo. Love how it came out, and feel free to pick whatever 2 colors you want to use, or do a variegated version or a mono version. So yeah, Peacock Duo. Then a little while ago I had finished this. This is Widow's Walk from Carriage House Samplings. We'll try there. And again, I stitched a house. The grass I did change. The grass that is behind the fence is X's, but the grass that is in front of the fence, the lighter green, is all, I did a satin stitch. So again, used one of the Hobby Lobby 8x8 frames in this kind of dark brown and made the ground bottom up. I framed it so it was lower in the frame and not centered, because I think some charts that there's no border and it's just the ground, I don't know, I think they just kind of look, to me, I aesthetically like seeing them placed lower in the frame, and then you have kind of more of the sky. And I really liked the fabric, so I wanted to show off more of the fabric as well. I also had in my closet hanging up and yet to be framed. This is Lucomori by Owl Forest Embroidery. I finished this September of 2019 and had not, let's see, you're just gonna have to, if you were sitting in my backyard and I'm showing you these pieces, they're gonna have the lions on them from the pergola, so we're just gonna go with it. It's a unique size, so I didn't want to get it custom framed, so I just kind of held out, and sure enough, when I went thrifting a few weeks ago, I found this frame that kind of jets in and sits in, which I really like, and I like that the frame off-white matches the fabric. Yeah, and so it works really, really well, and I love how it looks. Now, I need to do an updated tutorial on how I frame. I don't lace, I don't pin. I, in the beginning, used the sticky board. I'm over that. I don't worry if it's acid free or any of that stuff, because I'm gonna be long and dead, and it's not, I don't care. So I want to stitch things and get them up on my wall and enjoy them and put them up on my wall in the least expensive way. That's why I go thrifting for frames, and you can find really unique different sizes. So if it does come with a piece of glass, I use the glass as a template. Iron the piece really well, put the piece of glass on the stitched piece. I use a ruler to make sure that it's centered, right? Hold down the glass. I take a pen, trace around, and then cut where I marked. If I need to take off some to make it lay flat, then I do. And then I do glass, fabric, and backing. And I've never had an issue. Now a couple years doing it with any of my pieces sagging. Nobody wants sagging. And then I finish off the back with some scrapbook paper and I write my information. Dunzo. That's simple. This is Mexican sampler, and it comes with a year. I will put the information down below. It's from Queensland Samplers. Queensland? I didn't write it on the back yet. I, love this frame. Love it, love it, love it. Another thrift store find. And this piece is larger, and this is the called for colors. It's 3 4 DMC colors, and you either use, and it has to be, I guess you could use, if you wanted to do it smaller and make it just a monochromatic piece and do 1/2, so you're using one thread. But it is charted for you to do 2 threads because sometimes you use one each of the colored blues, so then there's sort of like this variegated look to it up close. I fell in love with this piece, and then when I was stitching it, it motivated and inspired others to stitch it up. And I knew that this piece was bigger, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to get this custom framed, but I held out because I know thrift stores, great places for frames. But I had already had this one in my possession, and I thought, let me take this frame down out of my closet, set it on here. Sure enough, it fit. I don't know why, I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but I love it. I love the final outcome. All right, let's get to what I've been stitching on. 3 projects. First, I pulled this out for Dark 13 stitching. Another Year Creeps by, this is from, got an eagle, not an eagle, hawk. Ink circles. Do it all together or pick out which blocks you like and do them as pillows or ornaments for your Halloween tree. I am stitching this on 22 count tobacco heart hanger. This is another piece, same fabric that I stitched Opus 2, Opus Long Dog on and shortcutted it. So, which I sent that off to be made into a drum, so I'm excited to get that back. So, I don't know how much I just guessed, but I know that it'll fit. Watch it doesn't, no it will. So I pulled this out. I wanted to get the 3rd block done before putting it away. So let me put this up against. I am using the DMC colors, but there is, I think those are Weeks Dye Works. So there is block 1 with the skeletons, skulls. I did not fill them in. I liked how they looked not filled in. Block 2, and then the skeletons in the coffins. Those were supposed to be filled in. The color, though, was very similar to this tobacco fabric, so I decided I'm going to do it differently. So as you can see, damn, it's probably showing up fine, but I just did some X's over them with the thread, just to add something to the piece here. Let's put it in the shade. And I kind of like, I love how that looks. So just remember, you don't need to fill every little aspect of a chart in. Try to add your own little mix to it. And again, come on, focus. There we go. No one's gonna know, only you. And okay, maybe there was a part of me that didn't want to fill it in. But I like what I came up with. So block 4 is syringes and like a little jar of something. But this will be put away until I feel the urge to pull it back out, or when I do use my whip wheel and land on it. Next thing I pulled out that I did use my whip wheel after finishing the back block. I do not have a cover image because this is a 1884. Hold on, one of the colored stickers came off. One of the stickers on the DMC came off. I need to put it back. So when I originally made up my floss boxes, I think I have 4 of them, 5 of them, with the DMC. Like everybody, I used stickers, which don't hold on to the plastic with crap. So when I do use those colors for any sort of design, then I'm just using a really fine point Sharpie and writing the number on the plastic, and that's working. So this is called Farewell, and I stitched 2 more lines of it. So if you guys remember, this is what it looked like. Bleeding Hearts, which this will be mimicked at the bottom. It is 3 paragraphs of text, and so I stitched in 2 more lines and then I was over it. This will probably be a release later in the year when it kind of gets closer to when I want to get out sort of fall Halloween pieces out. So far it says, "Farewell, dear friend, a long farewell, for we shall meet no more, till we are raised with thee to dwell on Zion's happier shore. Our friend and sister is dead, the cold and lifeless clay." This is taken from, the text is taken from a sampler that I purchased. I loved the text, and so that is what I am using. So that will be called Farewell and released later this year. Then I decided I want to stitch something with color, because I don't mind the color changing. And I also felt the pull on wanting to work on this. Rachel, pull yours out. This is Stitch Goddess by Tiny Modernist, and usually not my thing, but I got sucked into it. There is another version of the gal, but I liked the brunette version. I am using the DMC colors, and I am stitching this on, it's 18 count, hand-dyed fabric. Don't know from if it's a specific dyer or color, but this fabric was in the box of the last deceased stitcher's stash. This was a piece that I love, and wanted to stitch something on it, and I felt like this was it. Let's see, I kind of need some behind it. Let's do this. Not my dog barking. So, what you see basically halfway is, that's the top half all stitched, and then I was able to finish the lower right section of the pattern. And yeah, duck is super cute, the little rabbit. So I am not filling in her dress yet, because it's solidly stitched. There are designs on her dress, which I will stitch, but I am trying to figure out a way to avoid stitching all of the cream color. So whether that is a satin stitch or some sort of other stitch that I can incorporate will be decided at the very end. And if nothing looks right, then I'll just suck it up or hire somebody to fill in. My idea, trademark, registered, whatever. You stitch something, but there's a lot of filling, but you send to somebody and say, hey, can you fill in the girl's dress? Make sure your stitches match mine. So yeah. Next up, I have not stitched yet part 3 of my 1884 stitch along. And I showed you guys this. So those of you that are participating in the 1884 Mystery Sal, thank you so much. I love seeing your progress when you do tag me, so make sure you do. I believe it's this way. So if this is what it looks like with parts 1 and 2 all stitched up, and so part 3 will be released the 1st of April, so I need to stitch that. Now the good thing with those designs is that there are other stitch alongs, and I feel like some of them can take a lot of your stitching time for the month if you're working on other things, especially if people are members of WIPGO or other sort of scheduled going through, rotating through your whips. I forget who I was watching, and they are stitching the Autumn Lane Stitchery Fabulous Mermaid Lady, which if I was stitching her, she would be topless and holding the skull. But I remember she said that she feels like when a part is released, she's working on it so much of the month and just stay caught up. Mine is not like that, and that's totally fine, which way, however you feel about that. I'm not slamming Autumn Lane at all, but just showing that there are different Sals, and that some of them can work up in an evening, which is mine, and you get, you know, a little reward to yourself. You know, you finished a motif in an evening, or you're able to stay caught up with mine, and it's not taking days and days and days to finish a part. You could, you know, bust it out within a couple hours. So that is available, the Sal, on my website. Now, those of you that are signed up for my newsletter, you got the information about Arelate Studio April, and I decided on what design of hers I'm going to work on. This will be my first Arelate Studio pattern I've ever stitched, and I'm kind of confused why I haven't started one sooner. I have decided to go with Ego Sum, I Am, and the text says, as a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings happy death. As of right now, I will be only stitching this inside, not the flowery border. But yeah, I love the hair on the skeleton, and yeah. And I feel like, I think I have, I do have fabric picked. So, stitch it up and then frame it up, and then I'm gonna put it in the curio with Bo and Charlie. Which, I hope they had a happy life. Oh, that's the thing. I always think about, who are they? Who were they? Am I way off on their names? Are they pissed that they were, you know, at peace? Especially Bo, if, you know, Bo being 17th century. He was chilling, he was comfortable, he was good, and then some asshole digs him up, only his head, who knows where the rest of his body is, and then he's just like left somewhere unknown for 40 years, and then this woman buys him, names him Beauregard, it's not even remotely probably close to what his name was, and then sticks him in a curio, talks to him, and he's in this woman's curio with cross stitch all over the frickin' place. And then she bought another one, Charlie, and they probably talked to each other and like, oh my god, this bitch didn't even get our names close. I don't know. This is the shit I think about. So I am stitching Ego Sum on a piece of 32 count linen. Picture this plus in Havisham. It is slightly mottled. I want to say it's like a yellow creamy, and then maybe like a really light purplish vibe, or it's just the color of whatever the original fabric was. But when I look at it, I get like this kind of very light purple undertone with this very light yellow, almost like your dog peed on it, minus the smell. So yeah, Havisham, and I do have pieces of this in my store. So if you are looking for any Picture This Plus, 1884 Stitchery. So I am excited to start that. I have pulled all the colors. I had all the colors except for 4. So I picked those up the other day when I was at Hobby Lobby. Here are the colors. Come on. Come on. Now these lighter ones here are very similar to the fabric, but I'm not worried about that because the thing with Nancy's patterns, all of the people, characters, whatever, are outlined in black or some dark color. So if you guys remember how I did Opus and only did the outline of everything, that's the same way that these are charted up. So you could easily just stitch the outline of the piece and still get enough detail. Here's one page, as you can see. So you can tell what it is just from the dark black squares if you just stitched up that. But I do plan on coloring in, so I'm not worried that some of the creams might be a really close match to the fabric, because they will be outlined in the darker color. So if you have, I've gotten orders 4 patterns, so thank you so much. Remember, you can get all of them in either PDF, yeah, I need to specify that, or hard copy, and I will get those out to you. And I'm so excited. So excited. All right, last thing. I put this out on Instagram last week. I've had this piece of fabric in my collection for a while now. This is from Fabrics by Catherine. If you guys remember, I have a lady in Russia and she hand dyes and hand paints the fabrics. If you go to 1884, I have a tab and it says Fabrics by Catherine, and I have listed what I do still have in stock. Super soft. The hand painting or stamping does not rub off, come off, chip off, flake off, nothing. And this one I loved because it is lightly modeled, but it has this really delicate, let's see, flower design up at the top. So I want to know what to stitch on it because I looked through all my patterns and nothing screamed at me. Someone suggested something with like words. I just don't know what it would say. That's the only thing. I think they said some sort of like sarcastic, which I'm all into sarcastic writing. I just don't know if I would regret it. I think I'm looking more, I don't see words on this for me. I see an image. So if you guys, I want your 2 cents. Let me know what you would stitch where you could see me stitching on it. I thought like a skull piece, like maybe some sort of like black work skull. Simple, because it's not heavy. I don't want anything, I don't think anything heavy would work on this piece. I think it needs to be something like delicate. So I would be willing to do like another back stitch piece on that. All right, basket's empty. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you want. Put it down below. Let me know how your weather is. Let me know if this line, being outside, pergola line with the sun, is driving you nuts. If that's the case, then I'll find a new place to record. But I love it being outside. So yeah, thank you guys again, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. All right, so frames galore. Picked out this one, $1. Amazing. I love this little fabric insert that actually pops out. So I think otherwise this is an 8x10, or if you put the insert in, then it's a 4x6. But yeah, I love that. This gray, just super simple. I got 2 of them. And then these are actually from Hobby Lobby. There's a sticker on the back. And these were all $1. So got them in this really cool, like robin's egg blue, this sort of magenta color, and orange. Really fun. Don't know what for. Something down the line. This piece was $2. Not a fan of the chevron, but loved this really ornate turquoise frame, and I can unscrew it from the back. So yes, for $2. I also love picking up frames that are already colored, so are painted, so I don't need to do that. Love this really cool bright yellow, again, $1. And then this larger frame that has this 2-tone brushed paint look. And I almost forgot this little beauty. So this metal blue stand
frame, $2 with this bird. Again, not sure, but will be a fabulous finish somehow.